All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Um, Again, happy Friday, everyone. I am really excited to be with you guys. This is our last session in the series of three, and well, it's a really fun topic today. So I hope that you guys can some takeaway, or maybe 10. Actually, there's 12 that is going to be shared. Some secret stuff that I accumulated over the last 14 years of playing. Okay, so to start off, of course, again, I want to call your attention if it's your first time or if you're new to the ukulele, we have an intro to ukulele class that we put together back on July 7th. And this is actually housed at the employee engagement and community site. So I want to click on this and show it to you. There it is. Yeah, so really, really awesome stuff that Megan and her team have put together, the employee engagement and community SharePoint site. You can join their Slack channel to see all kinds of cool programming that the company's putting together for all the employees. And if you go up here, actually in programming, you can see the specific events that's offered. Class knife skills. That sounds like really fun or a little bit dangerous compared to what we do here. But okay, so if you scroll down to the past events, you can see all of our events that we have done. This is our second session, and you can click on that to find out more. If you missed that, it's also recorded. And I will again send out this deck afterwards. Okay, some housekeeping stuff. Again, if it's your first time, I started Uke Society back in 2017, really with an observation of something that, I see all around in Seattle, where I live, is there's so many coffee houses, so many wine tasting rooms, that kind of establishments that are sort of underutilized, I think, in terms of their operating hours. So I began working with a ton of small businesses to see, is it possible to use their really awesome gathering spaces after hours to kind of just get the community behind it, to play some music, to learn something useful, to have build community. And these are all the places that we work together. And now we are really excited to be here at T-Mobile to offer this program to all the employees. Since this is our last session, I do want to point out that we do have a Slack channel. So please join our Slack channel if you're interested in learning more and connecting. I was just talking to Eric and David about this. In the future, we may have opportunities to play at after work in person at one of the nice lounges and cafes that's built on campus. I think that would be really cool. Kala, ukuleles. If you feel like you need to leave one at work, like some of the folks here at the office, so you don't have to lug it around, we can help you out. We have an arrangement with Kala at Uke Society. So if you like to find out more about your next purchase, you can join our Facebook group and find out more information, or just email me or ping me. Let's see, what do we have here? Yep, so I think, let's go on to this one. Oh, actually, I can bump up the slides. Let's do this. Oops. Okay, so again, today's our third session. The topic is Uke hacks to impress at dinner parties. I don't know exactly who's having dinner parties right now. Maybe people are having barbecues outside in time of social distance, but nonetheless, you can play your ukulele for your friends, for your families. And I want to show you a couple tricks that, again, I've accumulated over the years, and I think these are really, really simple to learn and practice. That's the beauty of it. Okay, next slide. Before I begin, actually, I want to show you something. I want to show you this quick video, 2-minute video of a cover that Chloe Hennessee had done. She's a young artist that we've worked with multiple times in the past, based in New York City. Super, super talented. And she played an arrangement that I created for Vie En Rose. So I want to show it to you and using this as an example to call out some of the techniques that we'll be talking through today. So let me actually do this. I'm going to stop sharing for 1 second. I'm going to share again and optimize for motion and video. This way, I think you guys can hear me better. All right, so here it is. I hope this doesn't crash on me. Okay, it's still thinking. You guys can still see my screen okay? Yes?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, good. Why is it showing that? Let's give it 1 more second. If not, I will play it for you. Okay, maybe that's what I'll do. Now, the reason a lot of times I'd like to play the videos instead of playing live is that a lot of these conferencing softwares, what they do is they parse out the speaking and any quote unquote background noise. And so when you're playing an instrument and singing, the software thinks that the instrument is a background noise, and it makes it a very hard hearing experience. So let me try this. So if you can see my screen where I'm going to play Vie En Rose for you. Feel free to play along with me. Hold me close and hold me fast. The magic spell you cast. This is Vie En Rose. When you kiss me, heaven sighs, and though I close my eyes, I see Vie En Rose. When you press me to your heart, I'm in a world apart, a world with roses bloom. And when you speak, angels sing from above. Everyday words seem to turn into love songs. Give your heart and soul to me, and life will always be Vie En Rose. All right. Can you guys still hear me okay, by the way? Quick nod for those. Okay, good. My thing is still spinning. If I somehow get crashed out, I'm gonna log back in. All right. So I just played Vie En Rose Oh man, it just went into it. You know what? Let's listen to this. You guys can hear it, right? Okay.
Hold me close and hold me fast. The magic spell you cast. This is love in all roses. When you kiss me, heaven sighs. And though I close my eyes, I see love in all roses. When you press me to your heart, I'm in a world apart, a world where roses bloom. And when you speak, angels sing from above. Every day words seem to turn into love songs. So give your heart and soul to me, and life will always be La Vie En Rose.
All right. So that was Chloe. How do I get back? Oh, gotta do this. Okay. Good. Well, you guys got to hear two versions. But now let's break that down a little bit. First of all, you can see that there's 11 chords. So it's not a song necessarily for beginners, but it's really interesting if you now go into some of the techniques that we talked about in this song. First, we're going to be talking about simple techniques today. It's things that you probably already know, even if it's your first time playing the ukulele today. And we'll talk about this, why it's important to use simple techniques to elevate your songs. Well, it's fun, it's gratifying instantly, which is I think it's pretty important when you learn a new skill to have that to have that reward right away. It's achievable, it's expressive. I think there's an artist in everybody, and sometimes it just takes a channel to kind of bring that out. It also tells a more exciting story when we use simple techniques. And so, and mechanically, it's something you already know how to do. And I'll show you why, okay? All 10 things that we'll talk about today are things that you are already doing. We just have to surface it. All right. So we listened to Vie En Rose just now. Did you know that when I played it, not almost, 100% of my strums are only down strums. So I didn't use any up strums at all. And when Chloe played it, you also heard she placed in a couple of up strums, but not very much. And so what you notice is that you can make a pretty professional sounding, and she is a professional artist, song with simply down strums. And we all know how to do a down strum, right? Like you take your index finger and you strum down with actually the middle part of your index finger. And to do a down strum, again, you point at yourself to begin with, and then when you finish, you should be pointing at the floor. That's all it is. And so we'll revisit that song once again, and I will prove to you that all we did was simple down strums, but it can evoke so much emotions. So don't forget your down strums. Next slide. Okay, next thing, using long pauses for dramatic effects. This is really, really useful for ballads, really useful for, like for punchline, for fast songs. Before you say something funny, you make it a long pause, just kind of drawing out that sensation. And long pauses doesn't really necessarily take any skill. You just pause for a long time. And we actually did that in Vie En Rose, and I'll show it to you again in a little bit. Loud and soft. you play a chord loudly and you play a chord softly throughout the song that you're playing. And these little techniques actually make a very big difference because it gives your audience or people that you're entertaining at your dinner guests a sense of dimension, a sense of various texture and tonal qualities. Okay, so I just talked about 3 or 4 things. Let me actually play it for you again. Okay, we're going to do, and you can find all the song sheets at ukesociety.com/songs. This is again Vie En Rose. Now listen to what we're doing, okay? Listen for that down strum and listen for that pause. Hold me close and hold me fast, the magic spell you cast. This is La Vie En Rose. When you kiss me, heaven sight, and though I close my eyes, I see La Vie En Rose. When you press me to your heart, I'm in a world with roses blow. And when you speak, angels sing from above. Now the long pause is coming up. Everyday words seem to turn into love song. Give your heart and soul to me, and life will always be La Vie En Rose. Again, just demonstrating a couple of those techniques that we talked about. Hopefully you were able to strum along, and if not, even if it's your first time, you probably watch what your feet are doing. Your feet is probably tapping without you even knowing it, and your tapping is probably to this rhythm right here. Down, 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 down. All right. What is our next technique? Let's take a look.
Hey,
Various
David, we have a
strums.
question in the chat.
Sure.
How does using a pick versus your finger change the sound?
Great question. And changing the sound is actually some of the topics that we'll be going into. A pick is a very hard device. It kind of is the same texture-wise, the same as your fingernail. And so when you use a hard surface like your fingernail to strum, it's going to create a very punchy sound, right? It's going to create a very bright sound. Versus if you use the padded part of your hand, such as when some people strum with their thumb, using the fleshy padded part of your thumb, when you strum, it's going to produce a very different sound. It's going to create a mellower sound. So watch what I'm doing with just the C chord, okay? I'm going to simulate using a pick by using my fingernail. And I'm going to accentuate with the edge of my fingernail. It's going to produce that punchy sound. Right? Now I'm going to strum with the padded part of my thumb. A lot mellower. And so that's what a pick would typically do is create a punchier, bigger, brighter, fuller sound. Good question. And the purpose of this session again is to use simple techniques to impress, right? And so you're still doing the same strumming motion, but if you can change things up a little bit between songs or even within the same song, you're going to create a lot more dimension. Great question. So I was saying, various strums, using a number of different strums into incorporating that into the song that you are performing for your guests or for yourself, for your own enjoyment. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll use very simple stuff. I love using simple things to maximize the effect and not waste so much energy. And that's why I'm a ukulele player. So I would often use what you just saw with down strums. I do simple down strums through a song, and then sometimes I'll add in what you see down here. Strum number 4 is actually a calypso strum. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up. So you're familiar with that. We talked about that a few times in the past. That is a calypso strum or an island strum. And I will actually demonstrate that for you and invite you to play along as well. In 1 second here. Oh. The Way I Am. Okay, so this is a very popular Ingrid Michaelson song that I'm sure many of you are familiar with. I want to show you this song because when I started playing the ukulele about 13 or so years ago, I think, I can't remember that far back. This might be the very first song that I ever played from beginning to end. 6 chords. They're not the easiest chords that most would start out with, but let's play through this. Again, you can find it at ukesociety.com/songs. So I want to play this song for you and highlight a couple of those techniques that we just talked about. Down strums and the calypso strum. And you can even see it up here. There's a down and then a syncopated down on the 2N. And I'm going to play using that technique for the beginning of the song. And then I'm going to transition into a down, down, up, down, up. And with the 2 strums in the same song, it's going to create a lot more flavor. Okay, let's give it a try. All right, here comes the verse. If you were falling, then I would catch you. You need a light. I'll find a match, 'cause I love the way you say good morning. And you take me the way I am. If you are chilly, here, take my sweater. Up, down, down, up, down. Your head is aching. I'll make it better, 'cause I love the way you call me baby. And you take me the way I am. Down, up, down, down, up, down. 2 more Fs. You buy me broken when I start losing all of my hair. So on patches to all you tear, 'cause I love you more than I could ever promise. And you take me the way I am. Forgot how to play that chord. And you take me the way I am. And you take me the way I am. So again, you saw me start out with a simple down strum. Simple, I guess, all down strums, but it was on a syncopated beat. So hopefully you were able to follow along with that. It's a very fun one. There's actually a Uke Society play along. Again, it's right here, and I'll send out the decks to all of you so that you can go and check that out and play along. All right, the next two things I want to talk about are arpeggios. Arpeggios sound, I think it's an Italian word. It just means a broken chord. So when often we play chords, such as a C, we strum through it very quickly. What an arpeggio is, with a fancy name, is just play it slower so that it's broken down like this. That is an arpeggio. So it's a broken chord. And again, it doesn't take any additional effort to learn, no real additional skills. You can just incorporate that simply into your song that you're playing. You can even do it backwards. Okay. Vibrato. Okay, so this one I would say does take a little bit of practice, but it definitely is a fancy way to kind of show off to your kind of friends, kind of impress them. And vibrato, we can try it with a C chord. We can put it on your ring finger. When you play it through without the vibrato, listen to it. Just gonna strum through. It's a very steady chord, but if you rock your finger slightly back and forth like this, it actually slightly changes the vibration, the frequency. What you're essentially doing is essentially elongating and shortening the string at a very, very microscopic level. So I don't know if you can hear that wow 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 wow, but I love to use this for a lot of progressions that kind of walks up or down. So for example, when I play a C, isn't that cool? All you do, you keep your finger on the same string, and then you just walk down, and you can kind of rock it back and forth. Keep the bottom, but rock your wrist, sort of your forearm back and forth to create that a different sound. All right, what do we got next? Strum with different parts of the hand. Oh, that's right. So we talked about this a little bit earlier. That was a great question that was asked, is what is the difference when you strum with pick, with fingernail, with the fleshy part of your hand? It produces a very different sound. Again, with your fingernail, a harder surface will create a brighter sound. With the fleshy part will create a mellower sound. And so I'll just play this first verse again with the Vie En Rose. What I'm going to do, you're going to notice, I'm going to play the first part of the verse with the fleshy part of my thumb, and then I'm going to play the second part with my fingernail on my index finger, and see which one you prefer. You hear the arpeggio? I'm playing that chord super slow too. It creates a different feel. Hold me close and hold me fast. The magic spell you cast. This is Vie En Rose. When you kiss me, heaven sighs, and though I close my eyes, I see Vie En Rose. All All right, so that is the contrast. You can definitely play around with that yourself and see which one you prefer and try to incorporate that into your own tunes. Next, we got strumming at different part of your fingerboard. So when you strum, when you're using your right hand to strum, and you're strumming closer to the bridge, which is, this is the bridge right here, you're going to create much brighter sound, a fuller sound, more sustained than when you play up here towards the headstock. This is the headstock. Definitely mellower. I don't know if you can hear it. Far more punchy down here. And so throughout a song, what you can do is you can sort of identify and use your creativity to play some parts of the song down here and some parts of the song up here and see where your sweet spot is. Typically for me, my sweet spot is this area right above the sound hole. So here's the sound hole. Typically I like to strum right here, right where this the picture is showing the person who's wearing the red shirt. That is sort of where I enjoy strumming. I like that sound the best. Okay. I want to show you something here. Using a single upstrum. Okay, so we talked about that briefly earlier, but we know how to do an upstrum, right? We talked about this before where to do an upstrum, you actually use the fleshy part of your index finger and you point at the floor first, and when you finish, you should be pointing at yourself. That's an upstrum. Now, again, we're not introducing really anything new here, but this is what I love to do a lot of times for to really create a sense of not suspense, but it's just a different tone. And I'll demonstrate it with City of Stars from La La Land. This is a song that I really enjoy playing. This is probably Stars, not Start. There's actually a, let's click on this, see what happens. Nope. Okay. All right. So there is a play along up in YouTube, so you can check that out. But what I'll do is I'll play the very ending of the song. I won't play the whole song, but I want to highlight that upstrum at the very end. Okay. And funny enough, on this super slow kind of ballad, City of Star, I'm going to be using the island strum. City of stars, are you shining just for me? City of stars, you never shine so brightly. So I don't know if you heard it. For the A7, what I did was I strummed up very slowly, almost like an upstrum plus an upstrum arpeggio. Now that feeling is very different than a downstrum, right? I'll play the upstrum one more time. All right, let me try that one more time. Maybe you want to play along with me. Maybe you want to keep your ear to the highlight of that upstrum. City of stars, are you shining just for me? A little vibrato. City of stars, You never shine so bright. All right. Okay. Tremolo. Okay, this is what you would do very often. If you guys ever join a local jam, there's actually a lot of uke jams around Seattle area, and as I can tell from Eric, there's a lot in the Kansas City area as well. So if you ever join a jam, what you would notice that is people finish a song like this. I don't know if you can see. That's called a tremolo strum, and it's kind of a beginning to kind of that Spanish playing, flamenco style kind of picking or strum. If you want to practice this, you already know how to do a down strum. You already know how to do an up strum. You're kind of doing it very quickly and using the very edge of your fingertip. And you can imagine kind of like this, waving goodbye, waving bye-bye. This is kind of all the work should be coming from your wrist. So when you play, it's like a very sustained finish to a song. Or you can play it as an intro, as a happier tune, soft, loud. There you go. I think, okay. So that, I think we went through 10 tips and tricks, kind of like the uke hacks, like I like to call it. I want to show you something. If those don't do it for you, this is a really cool trick that you can use to impress your friends. Let's see, how do I click on it, right? The uke flip. Will it open? Oops, I might have broken it again. We do have some extra time today. I wanted to leave a little bit of time to see if people have questions, since this will be our last session through the program, but hopefully in the future we'll have more opportunities to play together. You join our Slack channel. If you don't know where to find the music, please contact me. So let me just see here. So here we go. We can try this. I think PowerPoint's having some issue here. So let me show you this.
But you'll cup underneath and then you just spin it around and you stop. This, that the best way is to flip the music, trying to add more stuff into your music. Now, we're going to do the final technique called flipping the bird, and I know that means different things to people. And I call flipping the bird for just simply for finding a space in the music where you're playing where you can suddenly flip the uke around. So something like this. Now, how do you do that? Basically, I've just discovered by practicing this that the best way is to flip this way, towards the body, not away from the body. And you cup your hand underneath, and the right hand will hold the uke, so you'll be able to spin it there. Cup your left hand, but you'll cup underneath, and then you just spin it around, and you stop it with this hand. So, and you can keep it closer to your body too, for more control. And sometimes you can get more control by putting your hand up there. So that's what you can do. And there also is a technique where you can do it forward, but it works better on a little uke for some reason if you're doing that. See how fast it looks? It looks really neat. But you always have to put your hand there, so the art of surprise is about this. You want to surprise someone by suddenly playing and flipping it. See, they won't catch you there, but if there, they'll see you doing it. So it's really the art of surprise. So the last thing I want to do is take down the
All right.
and do a song.
So I wanted to show you that. I would probably recommend you to start, if that's something you want to try, to start something with like a beater ukulele or something, you know, probably not a Martin like he's doing right there. It could really damage your instruments. Okay, so what do we got next? The thing is still frozen. I have one last tip and trick, and that was playing behind your head. Let's see if I can pull that back up.
Hey, David, I'm not sure what happened. Your voice is now sounding robotic.
Oh. Okay. Am I still robotic? Bummer. I'm gonna sign off and then come back in, okay? Hey, here I am. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, all right. I'm sure we've all been through that before. Um, all right, thanks for your patience. This is the last thing we're gonna share, okay? If all thing fails, this is the last thing you should do to impress your friends. And I would highly recommend that you do some light neck exercises if you're going to attempt this one. Hopefully it opens. Okay. Must be my PowerPoint. All right, here we go. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the 12 techniques that I wanted to share with everyone. I really hope that you'll take this, get some practice, and really enjoy all the different nuances that you can put in, even if you're a beginner. And I really hope to connect with you guys either virtually or in person and on campus. Um, yeah, in the future. And I just really want to thank Megan and everyone at the community team for allowing us this opportunity to get together. Um, we'll send out the deck and hopefully we'll see you guys at some point. Are there any questions? I know we have maybe 5 or so minutes. Anything technique wise or where to? Eric, you want to tell us about the different opportunities to play in Kansas?
I posted a few Facebook groups on the Slack channel, so they have their different events. I don't know anything currently, but I haven't been looking. But they have been going to bars and or doing Zoom
Right.
jams. So yeah, the ukulele club at Kansas City is pretty good. They're a little bit younger, and then the Ukesters are older folks, older songs.
Mhm. That's cool. Maybe it's a good time to practice, and then when people are getting together again, you know, there'll be a lot more players at the jams.
Oh, I posted a really cool like flamenco strum on the Slack channel. You might want to be interested in it. It's kind of cool. There's two links. The guy goes
Nice.
8-part strum. It's like
Do you want to demonstrate it? I that's actually one area that I'm not familiar with.
I'm not very good
Many
at it.
areas I'm not familiar with.
Let me see if I can figure it out first. I don't know, something like that.
Nice.
So it's like a down, up, click, tap. But he does it much better. Makes it easy.
I see what you're doing. It's a kind of a percussive feel to things. That is something I can't do. So very cool for sharing that. All right, Megan, if there's anything else you want to share with the group, again, we really appreciate this opportunity. We'll hope to connect with you all in the future.
All right. Thank you, David, for your time and talents. And thanks everyone for joining us. Have a good weekend.
All right. Take care. Have a good
Okay,
weekend.
bye.
Bye.
Everyone, thank you.